Buzz, Buzz, Busy Bees by Don Bentley. Cock-a-doodle-doo, says Rooster. Do you want to play? Buzz, buzz, says Bee. I'm too busy today. Oink, oink, says Pig. Would you like to have some fun? Buzz, buzz, says Bee. I really have to run. Nay, nay, says Horse. Will you race me through the grass? Buzz, buzz, says Bee. I'm afraid I'll have to pass. Moo, moo, says Cow. Can you join me in the hay? Buzz, buzz, says Bee. I must be on my way. Quack, quack, says Duck. Will you watch me swim around? Bzz, bzz, says Bee. Not when there are flowers to be found. Woof, woof, says Dog. Shall we chase the butterflies? Bzz, bzz, says Bee. I have to make a sweet surprise. Ribbit, ribbit, says Frog. Want to see me jump and splash? Bzz, bzz, says Bee. Right now I have to dash. Meow, meow, says Cat. Want to play some peekaboo? Bzz, bzz, says Bee. I've got other things to do. Ba, ba, says Sheep. Can you watch me jump the gate? Bzz, bzz, says Bee. Not now, I'm running late. Says the farmer. Honey golden as the sun. Thanks, busy bees, for a job well done. Buzz, buzz, says the bees. We made honey all day. Now we are finished and ready to play. So the craft we're going to do today is sort of like a homemade stained glass sort of picture. And you could do it with any story, really. I've made a bee here that we're going to make into a picture. And this one I did a flower. So what I started with was a piece of craft foam. It's really thick. You could use a piece of cardboard or just cut a piece of cardboard from a recycled box if you want as well. If you're going to put it in a frame, you need to make sure that you measure out what size of frame you're going to use for that. So the first thing that you need to do in advance, so before you do your craft, the night before, is you need to use your glue, and it's the tacky glue or some really thick white glue works well because you need to have you need it to dry fairly thick. So decide what shape or design of picture you want to have. And so if you want to use a pencil to sketch out a sun or some flowers or a bee like I did on here, and then take your glue and go over top of your lines, or you can freehand a design as well. And you need to have a nice thick layer. So you could almost do your whole design once and then go back over top of it with your glue again. And then you need to lay it flat and you need to let it completely dry. So overnight is probably best. This is a craft that's going to take a little bit of time. So once your glue is dry, I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but there is a thick line of glue left on my foam that's dry, and it's in the shape of a bumblebee. So then you'll need a piece of aluminum foil, and I am going to put a little bit of glue up in the corners just to hold my foil on nice and tight. And I'm going to put a couple little dots of glue, and I'm just going to spread them out with my finger so that we don't get any bumps there, but so that our foil is going to stick nicely onto our project. So you'll take your foil, and I'm doing the shiny side up, and smooth it onto your project. And then flip it over and put a little bit of glue on the back as well, where you're going to fold your foil over. And then nice and tight, fold your foil onto the back. So if for some reason you end up ripping your foil or you get it dirty before you get your project done, you can just take it off and put a new piece on. So now you need to lightly take your finger and find all those little bumps that we had made with our glue. So I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to rub. To rub out your whole design. So mine was a bee. So you want to put enough glue on there that it's going to hold your foil nice and tight on your project. So you can probably barely see that on the camera, but I have my glue design on there. Then you take whatever colors you want. So I'm going to start with yellow and fill in the inside sections of your design. So I'm just following inside the lines of my project that I did here. And you can feel with your marker where your glue ends. So if you just lightly hold your marker and find the edges of your glue. And then what I'm going to do is outline the outside of my project so you can see it nicely. So there's my bee. And then if you want to use more color on your project, you can find another color of a permanent marker, and you could use it to do the outside border of your project. And you just continue to color your whole project around your glue where it's puffing up. And if you want to make it really colorful, you can use lots of different colors for your border. So I'm going to switch colors one more time. I'm going to use a nice bright pink. And I'm going to finish coloring in my border so that my bee stands out even more. So you can take your time and do a nice, thorough job of coloring in your border. All right, so that is my finished bee, and this is my finished flower. So good luck with making your stained glass picture.